Nick was 21 years old. He was a junior at Gettysburg College in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and he was going back to senior year. So this accident happened in July. He's going into his senior year, so he was working up in Burlington, Vermont, and he always had some. I mean, he was a very musical guy. He played every instrument you could think of. Most of them very well. Some of them not as well. Just very smiley, enjoyable. Had a lot of good friends and things like that. He was doing a part-time job in addition to 3 other things part-time at a Dunkin' Donut, and I always got a kick out of the story that he did it was an extra thing evenings when he was in Burlington, and they said, Nick, just for the record, we charge for all the coffee. And I said, Nick, what was that all about? He goes, well, homeless people would come in at night. And he said, what are you going to do? You can't charge them for the coffee. And so he was always giving out, coffee to whoever. And he just had a great spirit. I mean, what parent wouldn't say that about their own kid? But he was, just full of life and so enjoyable to have around. And somebody misses on a day that goes by, you don't think, I wonder what it would have been like with him still here. But just a great vibe. Prior to Nick's passing away, I think it was a sort of casual conversation at our house about organ donation. You always knew about it. I don't even recall if I had it on my license or something like that. I don't ever recall Nick saying anything about it, so I don't think it was a huge topic. I always thought it was a good idea, but probably just didn't pay enough attention. I don't think it's going to apply to you. If I were to meet people, saying I've had some conversations, but not at the moment of donations, I've heard a lot of conversations with people to just say, hey, it'd be great to donate, sign yourselves up for donating. But if I were meeting parents that were challenged by it, I mean, all I could share is what it's been for us and how it truly is, as all the literature says, it's a gift of life. And you kind of have to remember that. And you go past, death is horrible and it's the end. But then this is something that goes beyond that. And I think for other parents to understand that, or just any donors, I mean, to realize that it's a gift you're giving yourself as much as anything. Because I think yes, you are giving it to somebody else, but it's like anything, you give and you get. I think the hardest part when my son was in the ICU for 4 days, and with each passing day, he began to realize he probably isn't going to live. So, I think the hardest part was when you hit that point where you realize, and then they talked to us a little about the organ person came in, so you kind of know what's unfolding. We did not know until we knew that he had signed his license or whatever. They told us, and we really wanted to fulfill his wishes, so it made the decision very easy. But I think the moment where you just realize, this is the end, and then probably the most difficult moment, my wife said this to me this morning before I was leaving, the final day when now he had passed away, and we had to get down the elevator with him the last time and get over to the operating room. I think the saying yes, it became easy. It was almost as though when we knew my son had signed his license, and then it felt like, well, we're just there to make that happen. And I was actually surprised a little bit that they were asking us. I don't know if that was, he was 21, I don't know if that was necessary or not, but deep in your heart, it's a wonderful thing. I mean, and I think knowing that you're going to be able to give life, that you're dealing with such a horrific, it's every parent's worst nightmare when it's a child in a situation like that. But, and I don't think we were thinking that rationally, but you're thinking, well, this is some good that could come out of, something that's so bad for us. And there was no saying no. It was just absolutely, this is what we're going to do at that point. But and then 3 of the letters that came back, one of them in particular, and ironically, it was the man who received Nick's heart, and it was just very touching. And I think as a parent, it was like, for my wife and daughter and I, it was like everything you wanted to hear from someone who got something like that, because you can't even put into words what that all means. And they did, and then we sort of cautiously, I think only once a year, exchanged letters, still anonymously, for 4 years. And then around I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, the letters were so encouraging for each of us, and we'd learn about the recipient, and as they learned about us, and then we said, would you, because we have to initiate everything, which I think is a very respectful way that the center manages everything. So we just said, would you like to meet? And it'd be non-anonymous. And they said yes. So then we told them who we were, and they told us that they were just otherworldly. And I think it was so rich. We just felt like we had to do it because we could do it. Like, in this, life is short, and how could we miss such an opportunity? One year, the couple sent us at Christmas time this heart, and it has Nick's name on one side, and then the other name is Dennis, and it just a absolutely beautiful gift, and so speaks to two people, one heart, and it's still ticking strong as far as I know, which I know it is. But I think that I don't know, those are moments in life you can't even describe. And the tragedy of losing Nick, which is absolutely awful every single day, and only parents who've lost kids know what that's like. And I think it's almost like an extra blessing to have had this to cling to in some ways, that people wouldn't have. So it's just such a, I don't know, I don't want to say an opportunity, that sounds weird, but I am so glad that we were involved with this, because it's enriched our lives so much. It extends Nick's life in ways that we couldn't even